everyone. I am Jhalak Patel from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication. Welcomes you to the session of electromagnetic theory. Today I am going to discuss about Unit 2, that is Overview of Electrostatic and Steady Magnetic Field with topic Electric Flux Density. So basically in the last lecture we have discussed about the various configuration of electric field intensity, like electric field intensity due to infinite line charge, electric field intensity due to infinite sheet charge or surface charge, and electric field intensity due to circular ring. Now let's see some formulas related to the same configuration but for the electric flux density. So now first let me discuss about what is electric flux density. Electric flux density is basically density means flux per unit area. Now flux can be according to Gauss law, total flux is equal to total charge, that we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions, that according to Gauss law total flux should be equal to the total charge. So obviously here electric flux density means flux per area can also called as charge per area. Okay, so according to definition it can be denoted by capital D, electric flux density. It is a flux per area. So obviously its unit is coulomb per meter square. Now what are the characteristics of this flux lines? So flux lines is basically traveling from positive charge to negative charge, means it generates from the plus charge and goes to the negative charge as shown in the figure. So here we can say that if for some positive charge is present, then only the flux lines will originate from this positive charge and goes towards the infinite. If we talk about only that the negative charge is present, then what happens is from the infinite the flux lines will come and end at that particular negative charge. So this is electric flux lines configuration. Here, as I said, for the plus Q charge, we can say that charge is present at the center, then the flux lines will originate from the center and goes towards the infinite. If we talk about the negative charge, then it comes from the negative or it comes from the infinite and end at the negative charge. So these are some statements related to the flux lines, that total flux is equal to the total charge. Flux is independent of the medium, means whatever the dielectric used, it doesn't matter. Then flux lines start from the positive and ends at the negative, as we discussed from the past figures. And if only positive charge present, then what happens is it starts from positive charge. So obviously it starts from positive charge and goes towards infinite. If only negative charge is present, then it starts from the infinite and ends at negative charge. Okay. So these are some characteristics of the electric flux lines. Now let's see some equations of electric flux density. Flux density means flux per area. Now flux per area means coulomb per meter square. So as we discussed that E is equal to given by Q upon R square AR bar. That is our electric field intensity. So relationship between the electric flux density and electric field intensity can be given by D equal to epsilon E, means electric flux density is epsilon time electric field intensity, means it depends on the medium permittivity into electric field intensity. So can I say that if we know the equation of electric field intensity, then we can easily find out the equation for electric flux density. So let's see. As I said, electric flux density means flux per area. Flux can be denoted by psi. This is a symbol of flux, psi upon A. Then the relationship between the D and D, as I said, D equal to epsilon E. Here I denote epsilon because we talk about medium. But if I said that free space acts as a medium, then what you have to do is you have to put in place of epsilon, you have to put epsilon 0. So D equal to epsilon 0 E, that is the relationship between the D and E. So here epsilon 0 is free space permittivity. Now for point charge, we discussed in the previous sessions that for the point charge means only the plus Q charge is present, then the electric field intensity is different. Electric field intensity is given by Q upon R square, AR bar, where R is a distance, AR bar is a unit vector. So now from this equation of electric field intensity, we can easily manage the equation of electric flux density because we know the relation between D and E. So let's use this equation and make the equation for the point charge for the flux density. So it can be like this: D equal to Q upon 4 pi R square AR bar. Here D equal to Q upon 4 pi R square. If you remember the equation for the E for the point charge, then it is like this: Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R square AR bar. So here epsilon 0 is in a multiplication, so it will be cut out, and the remaining part of the flux density is obviously D equal to Q upon 4 pi R square AR bar. Okay, so this is the equation for flux density in case of point charge. Now let's see some another equation, that is for line charge configuration. We know that for the infinite line charge configuration or uniform line charge, electric field intensity E is given by rho L upon 2 pi epsilon 0 R AR bar, where R is a distance, AR bar is a unit vector, rho L is line charge density. So again here rho L upon 2 pi epsilon 0 R AR bar, so epsilon 0 is present in a denominator, and the relationship between D and E is like D equal to epsilon 0 E. So epsilon 0 and epsilon 0 will be cut out, and the remaining equation for the D is like this: D equal to rho L upon 2 pi R AR bar coulomb per meter square. So this is the equation for the infinite line charge for flux density, that is rho L upon 2 pi R AR bar coulomb per meter square. Now for the third type of configuration, means for infinite sheet charge. For infinite sheet charge, or you can say that there is infinite surface charge. So we already discussed about the infinite sheet charge electric field intensity E bar equal to rho S upon 2 epsilon 0 AN bar, because here AN bar depends on the point and plane configuration that we already discussed in the last lecture, that if point is above plane, then direction is positive; if point is below plane, then direction is negative. So here also the same concept will be used in the example, but only what you have to differentiate is you have to simply multiply the answer of E with epsilon 0 or epsilon. If it is asked that it traveling in a medium, then you have to simply multiply it with the epsilon, and if it is asked that it is in a free space, then you have to simply multiply it with the epsilon 0. So what is the relationship between this epsilon 0 and epsilon? So if some material has a relative permittivity epsilon R, then epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 into epsilon R. So this is the relation between the permittivity and free space permittivity. So we talk about the infinite sheet charge, that D equal to rho S upon 2 AN bar. Here epsilon 0 and epsilon 0 is again cut down. So remaining part for the flux density is like this: rho S upon 2 AN bar coulomb per meter square. Now we already talked about if there are more than one point charge or more than 2 point charges present, then we can use the superposition theorem. So same concept we can also use for the flux density also. And if it is said that volume charge density is present, then what you have to do is you have to simply put the volume charge distribution equation in place of charge, means in place of flux you have to put the volume charge distribution like this. Here D equal to, again we use the point charge formula, that is D equal to Q upon 4 pi R square AR bar. Okay, but here the volume charge density is present, so in place of Q you have to put integration over volume rho V dV. So this is the charge configuration for the volume charge density, where rho V is equal to volume charge density, its unit is coulomb per meter cube. So this is the equation by using volume charge density. If it is asked that more than 3 or more than 4 point charges are present, then you have to simply add all the flux densities D1, D2, D3 up to infinite, you can add it. So let's see one example related to it, that a uniform line charge of 10 nanocoulomb per meter is lying along z axis. You have to find the E and D at r equal to 3 meter. So here two things are asked for electric field intensity and electric flux density. You have to do this example. So for this, first let's see that which type of charge configuration is that. So here the line charge configuration is that. So you have to use the equation of rho L. What is the equation regarding the rho L? That is rho L upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r A r bar. That is the equation of E. But here one point is given, that is it is lying along z equal to 3. So now let's see what we can do. Here line charge is present, so we have to use the equation of uniform line charge density. Now again, as I said, that you have to use the equation E equal to rho L upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r A r bar. We have to find field intensity at r equal to 3. So r equal to 3, we have to put rho L is given, that is 10 nanocoulomb. So 10 into 10 raised to minus 9, epsilon 0 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. So we get the equation, that is answer is 60 AR bar volt per meter. This is the answer for field intensity. If you want the answer for flux density, then simply you have to multiply it with epsilon 0. So we get the answer for flux density as well. Okay. Now let's see one another example. Determine the electric flux density at 403, coordinate 403, if there is a point charge of minus 5 pi millicoulomb at 400 and line charge of 3 pi millicoulomb along y-axis. Okay. So here flux density we have to find, but due to two type of configuration. First configuration is of point charge and second configuration is of that line charge. So first let's do the thing for the point charge. So for the point charge, as we already know that D equal to Q upon 4 pi r square AR bar. Okay. The main thing of this type of example is to find the value of the distance, that is r. So r is what? Again we use the same concept that we already used for the force as well as for the electric field intensity. So same concept is used to find out the flux density. So here again r can be like flux density at our desired point minus flux density where charge is present. So here flux density at our desired point means what is given in our problem statement, that determine the flux density at 403. Means our desired point for that electric flux density is 403 and charge is present, 5 pi millicoulomb charge is present at 400. So that is our point where charge is given. So what we have to subtract? 403 minus 400. Okay, got it? So again let's do the calculation for the point charge. So that is what I talked, that 403 minus 400. So our distance is 003, that is our distance vector, and unit vector is vector upon magnitude, means 3az upon square root of 3 square. Square root and square will be cancelled out and remaining is like this, az bar. Because here only third coordinate is present and given system is Cartesian system, that's why the direction is az bar. Okay. Now we have the value of r bar and AR bar. So let's put it in the equation. So it will be like this, minus 5 pi millicoulomb charge, 4 pi r square, 4 pi 3 square into az bar. So our flux density is minus 0.138 az bar millicoulomb per meter square. Let's do it for the line charge. So for the line charge here, please note that line charge is distributed along y-axis. Here along y-axis means it is present only on y-axis. So what we have to do is again we use the same concept, that distance is the point where we desired flux density minus point where charge is located. So the point where we desire flux density is where 403 and minus the point where line charge is present. So like it is given in the problem statement, no particular coordinate is given, but it is given that it is along y-axis. So what you have to do, you have to put the y-axis coordinate same as given for the desired point. So y-axis coordinate for the desired point is what? 0. So let's put it same in the second coordinate, that is 0. And the remaining coordinate should be 0, 0. So x and z should be 0, 0. If it is asked that along z-axis, then what you have to do? You have to put that particular coordinate same as it is for the desired point. So you have to put 3 as it is and the remaining x and y 0, 0. So in that case, the point is 403 minus 003. If it is asked that along x-axis, then you have to put x-axis coordinate same as given in the desired point and remaining to 0. So it will be 403 minus 400. Okay, got it? So here along y-axis is given. So that's why we put y-axis coordinate as it is. Here y-axis coordinate is 0 in the desired point. That's why here we put 0 and the remaining 2 are 0, 0. So the distance is 4ax plus 3az. Again we find out the unit vector by vector upon magnitude. So we get the answer like this. Now put this in the equation of the line charge, that is rho L upon 2 pi r AR bar. Rho L is given, that is 3 pi into 10 raised to minus 3, 2 pi r, 2 pi into 5 into 4ax plus 3az divided by 5. If you simplify this, you get the answer like this, millicoulomb per meter square. Don't forget to put unit, that is flux density means flux per area means coulomb per meter square. Okay, so this is the example related to the electric flux. So here, according to superposition theorem, whatever the distribution given, you have to add them. So here point charge and line charge distribution is there. So simply you have to add them, d1 plus d2. So that is minus 0.138 az plus 0.24 ax plus 0.18 az. So that is equal to this. So this is our final answer for flux density. So up to this, if you have any doubt or queries regarding the electric flux density concept or examples, you can ask me on my email ID. Thank you for watching.